In this video, I am explaining the law of assumption according to Neville Goddard and how you can use it to make your life better. So the law of assumption says the things that you assume in your mind end up showing up in the physical world around you. So whether that's something like money is a struggle, I'm always broke, or something like money is easy, I always have plenty of money. Whichever one you assume is true is what you will experience in your life. Or as Neville puts it, an assumption, though false, if persisted in, will harden into fact. I'm Cassie, and on my channel, we dive into the inner conversations, the stories, the beliefs that you hold about yourself, the self-talk, and how hugely important they all are to your experience of life. And I share my favorite tips to create a mindset that supports your best life. So the law of assumption is pretty simple. Maybe you have a friend who everything just always seems to work out for them. Like success comes easily, they always have plenty of money, they have good luck with love relationships. That is because the assumptions that they have about all of these things in their mind are that they will work out. And so that is what they are seeing reflected back at them. Oftentimes, people who are like this naturally grew up comfortable financially and, with stable and secure family. And so when it comes to money, for instance, they've always felt comfortable. They haven't had to struggle. So it does just come naturally that money is easy. There's always plenty of money. It's an easy assumption for them to have. But the interesting thing is their capacity to assume a story is no different than anyone else who has grown up with a different background. The person who didn't grow up as comfortably does have some more emotional baggage to shed, but it's just as possible to get into that easy money assumption state of mind with a little bit of practice. It just takes practice, but it's very doable. So to make the law of assumption work for you, you really need to study the stories and the beliefs and the assumptions that you have going on in your brain. Like for me, my family did have some financial struggles when I was growing up, and so beliefs like money is hard, money always goes too quickly, there's never enough. Those are stories that I brought into my current mindset, and I would see them playing out all around me time and time again. So what I found works for shifting your assumption is to start gradually. To start with something that's small, because going from money is hard, there's never enough, to I have millions of dollars in the bank, that's quite a leap. And it can be hard for your brain and your energy to change so drastically. So I would start with something smaller, like I know how to make money. I am grateful for the money that comes in and the money that goes out to support my life. I have great plans for the money that comes into my life. That kind of commentary opens the door to bigger and better money stories to start to come in and become your new assumptions. And you just have to practice inserting those kinds of thoughts into your mental conversation until they start to become part of the mix and they start to feel more natural. I like to set alarms during the day, nice sounding ones, if you can. And when the alarm goes off, check what kind of story are you telling yourself right now? Is that a story that you want to be true? Is it an assumption that you want to see show up in your life or not? And if it's not, then run one of these phrases in and just work it in there. Just switch gears. Every morning when you wake up, every night before you go to sleep, run these new money conversations in your mind until they start to become familiar. Then they'll start to emerge more on their own. And then you can enhance them, you can add to them, you can start feeling that those assumptions are taking hold and they're starting to feel real and more natural. The great thing is that, really the past doesn't matter. What matters is now. And I can control and cultivate the mindset I want to have. Now, I learned the law of assumption was real the hard way. I learned it the negative way. I believed the worst about myself and I assumed things wouldn't work out, and I was constantly seeing that reflected back at me. Things actually got so bad that I knew it couldn't be coincidence and that I had to have something to do with it. So discovering the law of assumption was super important for helping me change my mindset and improve my life immensely. Changing an assumption that has been part of your life for years, at times, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, it can if you can really take that past doesn't matter, what matters is now real seriously. Something else that I find can help is imagining that you just landed on Earth today with no past, no family history. What kind of beliefs would you want to just start with fresh? If you didn't have the emotional baggage, what would you love to see show up in your life? Money helps me do the things that I want to do in life. Money helps me be more comfortable and helps me support people and causes I believe in. Money comes to me from expected and unexpected places. Starting to insert those stories in and to keep them running and, ones that feel good to you, the more that you work them in, the more your story will start to shift and you will see a reflection of that in your life. And, you can change any assumption. You really can. You just have to make up your mind to do so. And like I said, start gradual, start just shifting the needle a little bit in the direction that you want to go towards and get those stories starting to feel familiar and then go bigger and better from there. I have, I've been practicing the law of assumption for many years now, and I'm not always perfect, but definitely paying attention to the stories and the assumptions that I have in my brain and cultivating beliefs that I want to have show up in my life has made a huge difference in my life experience. And I hope that you can experience the same if there are some assumptions that are not supporting your best life. I really hope that through this method and the law of assumption, you are able to shift so that you can experience more of what you actually want to happen. If you are working on changing some assumptions, comment about them below and I will help if you need help thinking of some gradual ways to shift those stories. And if you have used the law of assumption successfully, I would love to hear your story about it. So yeah, comment, like this if you do, subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.